Hello and welcome to a brand new opposition preview video. I am D and today I'm joined by Sam from the 77 Wolves Club. The Wolves 77 Club. Sorry, I knew that I was going to mess that up and I just wrote it down. Thank you for joining me, Sam. So let's talk about Wolves. It's quite interesting because when you got promoted, I knew that Wolves, when you look at the players that you got, I knew that Wolves had a chance of competing for European football. But the fact that it happened so quick, and right now you're competing for potential Champions League spots. How did this come out for work? How did this work out for you guys at Wolves? I mean, was it the transfers? Was it the manager? I mean, you're known as a big club, of course. What went right for you guys to be competing for Champions League positions after getting promoted not that long ago?
It was everything went well. I think we were doing the podcast in the Championship, and I know in the promotion season a lot of teams were sort of saying we're quite angry with you because this isn't how it's normally done. Normally you bring in a foreign manager with unknown foreign players and you finish 15th, which is pretty much what we did in our first season, obviously, but before Nuno came in. But when you buy players like Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota and Willy Bolly, and they're competing in the Championship, the only way is up. And Nuno works with a small squad, and sometimes that can be incredibly frustrating. I think he's used 21 players in all competitions this season, which just shows you, A, how many he actually trusts, but B, he does like working with those smaller squads. So when it's not quite going to plan, the opportunity to change things isn't as apparent as when you've got sort of these bigger, maybe 25-man squads. But yeah, it just seems to fall into the place. They buy into his philosophy. They love playing for him. It's great to see, it's football as it should be. I think he has his favourites, I think it's fair to say, but I think he does give everybody the chance to shine. And if they don't, then, they have to earn their way back in. And if not, they get moved on. And that's football. No one's there unless they're on merit. So it's gone really well. We're enjoying the dream. FA Cup semi-final last year and European competition this year.
Yeah, you mentioned him being a bit predictable, maybe with his squad, not really changing about. And the funny thing is, the same happens with Roy Hodgson. But of course, we're not competing for European spots. Our season is pretty much done and over with going into this game. So what is it? What is it that works out for him? Do you think it's the quality of players, maybe, that even if he doesn't change it about, that they can just get results? Or does he have a plan B? Because we don't really have a plan B even going into this game. Can you guys maybe switch it about if it doesn't work out for you? How do you manage to get the results?
Yeah, we saw a plan B against Everton at the weekend. We did a podcast actually after the Sheffield United game last week. We lost 1-0 in the last 20 seconds and it was raw and we were very, very hurt and we hadn't created a single chance in 2 games. And I think a lot of people were disappointed with that, and rightly so. But he made the changes and he brought in Daniel Podence, who was a £17 million signing in January and has played maybe 20 minutes tops altogether since January. And he was man of the match performance. He won the penalty for the first goal and was instrumental in the win over Everton. And I think that when it comes down to taking 2 games to make a change, I think above all, you'd probably be happy with that. You're not chopping and changing all the time. Like I said before, he's giving players a chance to prove themselves. And if they have a bad game, then that you're going to have the chance to sort of right any wrongs potentially. But he's not afraid to drop the big players. And I think maybe drop is the wrong word, because I think he'd probably take umbrage with that, because he sees it more probably in a similar way to Pep does, is that players don't get dropped. It's just that they're playing a different role from game to game. So when people say, oh, you've dropped Adama Traore, it's like, well, no, his role has changed because you've got aging left backs and you want to come on for 20 minutes and absolutely annihilate them. And that's 9 times out of 10 what he does. We saw it against Villa, came on and Wolves won the game, snuck it 1-0, which is always great in a derby. But yeah, he's got a game plan. He always sticks to it. And you know what you're going to get with Wolves 9 times out of 10.
You mentioned Adama Traore as a neutral. When he plays, is crazy at times because he's got the strength, he's got the pace, he's your ideal player going out wide. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't start every game. He comes off the bench sometimes. Why is that? You would expect a player of his caliber to start games. You mentioned a point there saying that he goes and attacks aging left backs after coming on as a substitution. Is that the main reason, or is there something missing in his game for him to not warrant a start?
if we're playing away from home, there's a good chance that that he won't start, and we'll two up front and move Dendoncker into the middle so that the midfield's a bit more sturdy. So that's one reason, and that's tactical. The second one would be that his shoulder is not 100%. He dislocated it a couple of times earlier on in the season, and that players have sort of been pulling at it and targeting him for that. So I think ideally, if they knew how long the lockdown was going to last, he'd have gone in for that shoulder operation. But as it was probably playing it on a day-by-day basis, so that they didn't get that done. So yeah, it's tactically, and I think probably his shoulder is playing a part, because there's no point in starting him. He gets a pulled shoulder, and then you revert into that formation or player selection that you'd have had before. So it's a little bit of both, but I'd say probably 50-50 actually, in fairness.
So if you had to pick out one player at Wolves that Palace should watch out for, who would it be and why?
Well, there are a couple, dear.
I know there are a couple, but who's the biggest threat? Who's the biggest threat going into this game?
If you tell me one, it's Neves. It has to be Neves. I think Moutinho didn't start the weekend, and that gave him a little bit more freedom, and he absolutely ran the show against Everton. He was superb. Some of the balls he was putting through, and especially for Jota's goal, incredible. His movement off the ball is brilliant, but his picking and passing is like nothing I've ever seen in the Wolves shirt before. Otherwise, it's Raul Jimenez, involved in 35 goals this season, and 15 of those are assists. So he's a big part of the team, Raul Jimenez, but his wife is on the cusp of giving birth, of which he's been given time to go and be there. And we all know that if we're pushing for the top four, that's not acceptable for him to be there. So we'll wait and see what happens in that. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. She can give birth again. I mean, it's unlikely we're going to be pushing for the top four.
So where do you see the game being won and lost on Monday? I mean, whether that's tactically, whether that's stopping Wilfried Zaha, maybe. Where do you see the game being won and lost?
Middle of the park, classic game of football. I think it's going to be, whoever bosses the midfield and can control the game. I think it's going to be there. It's not going to be massive defensive displays that are going to contribute to a win to this game. I think there'll be goals. There are always goals with Wolves and Palace, and even if it's the odd one. But I definitely think whoever sort of puts their stamp on the game early on has got a really good chance with this. And it'll be an entertaining game as well, because both sides like playing with attacking wingers. So it should be end to end.
Yeah, no, we have 3 defensive midfielders who always start for us, so maybe that might help to stop you guys. Maybe. Finally, let's talk about the lineup and score predictions. Who do you see starting against Palace for Wolves, and also your score predictions? And you can be as harsh as possible, because even I'm not comfortable going into the game.
Now, the back 6 don't really change. It'll be Patricia in goal. It'll be Johnny at left wing back. You've got Doherty right wing back, and then Sace, Cody, Bolly. Neves will start, and then it really depends. I mean, is it at where is it? Because I get confused about where these fixtures are.
I'm not too sure. I mean, this is
struggling because I get so confused.
So I think the game is at. No, it's at your place.
Is it the Molyneux? Right, okay. Well,
yeah.
In that case, I think it'll be Jota, possibly Jimenez if he's not at the birth. Traore. I think Moutinho and Neves will start together. And I think that'll be the 11 for Wolves anyway.
What about your score prediction? Yeah.
4-0.
4-0?
4-0 Wolves.
You're being too nice. It's being too nice. But yeah, I mean, 4-0, I'll probably take that at this point. Actually, I'll prefer if we scored a goal. But yeah,
I will give you a goal, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see a goal by Palace, because we just need something. We just need something to look forward to for next season. Even a goal would do right now. But thank you for joining me, Sam. As always, make sure to go check out their channel. I'll leave it in the description down below, and leave down your score prediction. Let's hear what you guys think. Are you optimistic, or are you a bit like me, thinking that a 4-0 score would be a good result for Palace at this point? And until next time, up to Palace.